Morning, everybody. There's no one there. I'm speaking to myself. Takes them a while. I'm probably a bit early this time. Yes, 9:03, and I'm 2 minutes early by my computer. It's the 24th of January, and it's still cool here in Les Arbres. I went and filmed a storm sequence yesterday for Ada, um, and down the beach because there's 6 meter waves and the big stormy stuff over the lighthouse, and it starts hailing. It wasn't snowing, but it was freezing, and I wasn't geared up for the cold well enough. And then when we got home, Jane had ordered a new fry pan, very domesticated, and we missed the delivery, so they put the box by the gate, and it was just covered in ice. All the hailstorm must have just dumped on a wind whirl, and there's all this ice everywhere. So yes, it's still cool here, and I haven't put the heater on yet and stuff. So I hope you're having a fun weekend. I don't believe how quick the weekends come about. I'm still way behind on a lot of stuff anyway. And the big reveal was I discovered yesterday that we've got a Wikipedia page. It's kind of funny. Wikipedia is funny. I don't have a Wikipedia page because no one likes me. You don't put your own stuff up. Someone else has got to decide that that they want to put a subject up about Wikipedia. And I didn't realise we had one. Someone mentioned something in the comment, and we've got our own Wikipedia page, which is here, which I didn't know about. So I don't know. You have no idea who puts them up. That's it there. The original facts. That's all the fact sheet of what goes on. But in the beginning, I read it yesterday, and it wasn't quite right at the beginning, but that's normal because it was how the facts were as the event evolved over the years. So it must have been up for a while, or someone's gone back into the history. But anyway, they've got all the facts right now. They know what's going on, all the different bits and pieces. So there's still a few things that need to be corrected. Whoever's doing the page, it's got all the entrants there. It's all kind of cool. That means the MGR's hitting the big time. Ooh, jeepers, not like me. I don't have a Wikipedia page. No one likes me. Never mind. So that was a joke. But anyway, I started to think if the boys from Sailing Anarchy get hold of it, it'll be a Mad Bastard Wikipedia page. I think I should go Mad Bastard to see what's on Wikipedia. I might find myself. Anyway, I digress. And you might have seen in the heading, which is always a bit of a fluff because I never know what to write down. But another thing, I was talking to someone else about the 580s yesterday, and I call it the 30-10-10-100 rule. Right now, I'll explain that after. So when you're looking at that, what do you think the 30-10-10-100 rule means? It specifically relates to the performance of a 580. Okay, and it's very relevant. It's very relevant, and I experienced it quite simply when I sailed across the Atlantic in 2021. It was very obvious, and it had an impact on the winners. When I say winners, I mean the two guys at the front were going hell for leather, knockdowns laid over, bloody, all that sort of stuff, really pushing hard. And where did I came? I came in third, I think. Yeah, there was only 5 of us in the race, but I won the seniors division, and I played it completely differently, and that's where the rule came from: 30-10-10-100. I'll explain it at the end. Anyway, let's get on to the. Hang on. John Pinto, got my telescope outside while I'm watching your live. That's pretty cool. We must have a clear day. There's a lot of solar stuff going on at the moment. I had the most amazing telescope. I really like telescopes and getting out there. I never have enough anyway, and I've had little things, and you use your binoculars even on a great night. And when you're sailing, you get these dark nights and stars everywhere. You're just fantastic. So anyway, I finally bought myself a bloody massive telescope, right? I think it was an 8-inch reflector, on the thing. In pieces, you got to assemble it. And I sent it to the island in Namuka Iki in Tonga, thinking this will be great because you had stuff there, shipped it in. And then that season, we didn't get to assemble it and use it. And then we lost a lot. We got wiped out on the island with the big tsunami that came through. Everything washed away, including my telescope. And every now and then I think, shall I buy another one? But you're in the city, Anyway, so I don't know what you're looking at, John, but it must be fun. Okay, Now, straight onto the tracker. So you're onto the tracker. We've got a few people there now, but it's trade wind sailing. It's never as exciting. But we're still getting 1,000 people or so on Facebook watching the updates. So thanks for all your followers. So you're on the tracker now. I've got to find my tracker, which is here. Put this view on because we're not far from Recife. It's all happening. I've speaking to Yannick there at Recife, and they're all getting geared up, ready for receive everyone. So how far they got to go? Oh, I can pick it on. Oh, I don't want to look at Let's Gameway. Didn't see that. Hang on. I'm going to measure it. I don't want to show you how fast Renault's going yet. He'll be flipping through like crazy. 770 miles. Are these 8 o'clock positions? Yes, 770 miles. So that's 6 days. So Saturday. So they could get in on Friday if they can keep the speeds up, something like that, which they should do. Okay, so I digress. We go for the wind. And if we've still got everything, yep, look at that. Trade winds, beautiful. Dan just put a nice video up, cruising along, feeling very good. Although even though we're saying there's trade wind stuff, you see some other videos. I forget who it was. There was one yesterday, and they're still having to work hard. It's not as easy as I sometimes say it is. It's trade winds, but when I'm sailing, anything behind you, any wind behind you, that's true. That's cool. That's all you want, and they're doing it very well. So and getting excited about Carnivale. That wasn't on the agenda when we organised the course. I had no idea that Carnivale was going to be there in Recife, but now that it's happening, it's a big one. When you Google it and find out about the carnival in Recife, it's right up there with one of the biggest in the world by the look. So anyway, Josh doing 5.1 knots and 122 nautical miles. So in the last 24 hours, not too bad. Entrant relaxing too much, slipping a little bit behind, maybe 117 miles. Still got your Turkish delight here, Entrant. It's fantastic. But look at that. Jasmine did 121. So Entrant speaks to me every so often, and he's kicking back at lunchtime, and he has his computer there, watching a movie or watching some sporting event or something, having a grand old time. And he's you'll see that in his report. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't translate Renault's report. Oops. Okay, Jasmine, 4.621, moving quite well. Kerry, ripping up through the fleet, 4.8 and 125. 4 miles on top of Jasmine, so that's not too bad. 123 for Eric. Eric's been spurred on by Kerry, no doubt. Probably heard that Kerry was coming, boring down on him, so he's only lost a mile. It's not too bad. So they're sailing neck and neck at the moment. And then coming across here, I'll bang this up for the lead pack. Still a lead pack there, definitely. Christian roaring across, 6.9, 136. He's really putting the pressure on there. 133 for Adam, doing 5.6. So Christian may have it until we get to Renault. Oh, there's 37. Jacob, he's the man. 1 mile faster than Christian. So he's piled it on, but Peeler is pulling out in front. 142. Look at that. Jeepers. So how did she do that? I wonder what sales she's got up. We're not hearing enough, but I just saw she popped a report in and binged a few minutes before I turned it on here. I haven't seen it, but maybe she'll tell us what she's doing. Blood, sweat and tears, or just kicking back, who knows. But anyway, 142, that's pretty impressive. Jacob, 137. So took 5 miles out of Jacob. I'm really good at maths, eh? Anyway, 6 knots for Dan, 143. Where did we go? 142, so 1 mile away from Peeler. Okay, and here it comes. But 139. Ooh, Dan's happy. So 5.8 for Renault, 139, and Dan took a bit out of him, 4 miles on the way. So that's not too bad. And Dan is on distance to go, 8:13. Renault is 7:91. So that's another 9, 8:13. 7:91. So there's near enough to 9, and then he's got 13. So 22 miles behind. So he has closed the gap a little bit, but can he close it enough to be neck and neck by the time they get to the finish line, which may be moved? I'm just waiting for some information from Yannick in Recife. We've currently got the finish line. In fact, I'll send you right to the finish line now. You can see what's going on and tell you what we're discussing. There's Recife. They're coming. I'm going to zoom in so you can see where they're going to go. Put that in the middle here. Keep pushing it up. We're about to lose the weather, which is normal. There's an offshore breakwater here, like a wave distorter that protects the entrance. You can see that there. So here's the city of Recife down here. That's the commercial docks. But there's a breakwater that comes out here. There's another breakwater here. So you come in and around the corner there. This is the wave retarder, or call it what you want, a breakwater. And that stops any wave action going through the entrance into the city here. And we've got the finish line all the way across the southern entrance to the port. You can come in this way, or you can come in that way, which to me is really easy. I kind of like having a physically determined finish line. So you can see breakwater to breakwater. When you come across here, if it's daylight, you can tell when you cross the line. They can put this in their chart plotters, and they can also determine whether they cross the line here at the southern end of the line or the northern end, depending on sailing conditions. And it's pretty wide open for any ships coming in and out. A ship coming out of here, you would think they'd come out and around like that, even if they were going south, rather than do a really radical turn here to go around. And with any cruising boat, you sort of think, okay, well, it's got to come in here around the port, down the river and stuff. So I kind of like that finish line, but a couple of them were saying, oh, when we always come into the finish line, if there's a ship, we got to do blah, blah, blah. That's part of the passage planning. Anyway, I've decided to check with the port about how busy it is, if this is a realistic finish line or not. If it is, we will leave it like that. I'll make a decision this weekend. If it's not, what we might do, or what we could do, is have a finish line, say, out here somewhere, going east-west off the end of this breakwater, and they cross the finish line. They can get organised. They can come back around there or whatever. So they're hiding from the ships. That's probably what I'll do. Or I could put a random finish line down here, just in the south somewhere, GPS finish line. But I'm not a fan of that. I like having a physical line or some connection to the shore anyway. At least it makes it simple. But safety is everything, I suppose. But there's no reason to be unsafe even. It just means you've got to sort of hold off a bit. And, that's got racing too. I've seen plenty of races finishing harbour and all that sort of stuff. You work with what you got. In Sydney Harbour, jeepers, you get in there and there's 1,000 yachts there. And the ship will come right through the course. And this, that, and the other. That's part of the course. You just go with the flow. So the decision will be made probably on Monday or Tuesday about moving the finish line. So where are they going? Hang on, I've got to say we're day 334 at the moment, so 20 hours, 41 minutes. That's it there, and I'm going to get my bearings here. Okay, this one, hang on, I'm going to go back a bit here. This is the main island here, and there's a new marina here. I just got to zoom in and see how far. The marina's not on this picture by the look of it. Dude, jeepers. It's funny, I haven't come in here. I've got all the pictures of the marina. But that's the commercial docks there. Hang on. I'm doing my own exploration here. I should have done all my pre-planning on this. But that's the island there. Okay. So yeah, this is a really old picture. Because there is a new hotel. This is the island that it's on, I believe. And it's in here. Tell me where it's, now I'm a bit confused here. Okay, I better get onto YouTube and have a look. I mean, onto Google Earth and have a look, but it's right in here, I believe. There's the big hotel there and a big new marina. It's not showing on this picture. So anyway, that's the plan. Believe me, they got to come into the port. They come in around here head on down here, and there is a brand new hotel and marina complex about here somewhere, and that's where I believe it is. I may have completely mucked up here, but I'll have a look on Google Earth and see what's going on. Anyway, back to the troops. Back to the troops here. Keep coming, keep coming. There they are. Going to look at the weather for the next couple of days, which will be trade winds again. Okay, one down here. Pick that back there. Leave Josh in there. I'm going to go one more. Okay, so I'm going to quickly drag this through rather than every 3 hours. There it is. It's just holding trade winds. There we go. Another day holding trade winds. It seems to be softer at the back than the front, and then it's going to die a little bit, but they've got good weather all the way in. Here we go, right up to the 31st. I think we'll see Renault in by then or close to it, and Dan right behind, and the others also going right through. Fantastic sailing all the way through. Currents we've seen, blue sky, clouds. What do we got? No clouds. So some clouds there, but not a lot here. It's trade wind stuff, fluffy clouds, a couple of bigger ones. Currents, nothing really wrong with that. A little bit of help, not a lot. That little bit probably gives them another 4 miles a day, something like that. Waves be all blue. That's it. Okay. So that's the end of that. So we'll see Renault. Wrong one. We will see Renault very quickly. What have we got here? Get rid of that. I don't know how to get rid of those questions coming up on the screen. I'll have to make a big effort to find it. Now we want entrant reports. Here we go. Yesterday we got 5 messages here now. So okay, you got Renault's French translation last time, but I meant to translate it and I forgot. So I will later. Eric. Update Sunbear Friday. After an amazing time at St. Helena, we aren't now close to 500 nautical miles down to Recife. Not sure what that is. Could be autographs. Anyway, 500 nautical miles. Not even 500 nautical miles from Recife. A lot longer than that. Not sure what he's saying there. We aren't now close to 500 nautical miles down to Recife. Great weather at the moment. Dead run at 15 knots. I have Kerry hot on my tail. At the moment, I'll try to make him work to get past me. He can have fun. Skipper and boats are doing well. All the very best. So, yeah, I thought that might be the case. Still, it's a bit of fun. When you've got trade winds, little sailings that try and lock him out. You should have gone over and blocked him. But Kerry's come across and on the top side of him. Christian, sailing along without any issues. Very pleasant sea state. But I would appreciate a little bit more wind. The little fresh food I could get on St. Helena is all used up. Yet another reason to sail to Recife as fast as possible. All the best. Every time I eat sardines now, I think of these guys. I like sardines, eat a lot of them. And I'm sure they've all got sardines. Most of them. Adam was having sardines every day for the beginning of the MGR, but I don't know whether he still is. A comment from Kerry against Eric. Eric saying, Kerry, no, you're not getting past. So Kerry saying, you are certainly not making it easy, Eric. Do you never sleep? So there you go. Urton, tracker sailing towards Recife on her own. Plenty of rest. Still have lots of fruit, veggies and eggs produced in St. Helena. How did he score that? He must have gone and bribed a chef in the hotel he was staying at. That's going to make a few people envious. Looking forward to 2 weeks of land holiday in Brazil. Oh, you're going to get more than 2 weeks. You're not leaving until the 19th. And you should be in on about, no, that's about right. Yeah, so first, second, third, fourth. That's it. Yeah, that's about right. A couple of weeks. So that's worked out pretty well. Peter Punk. At night, I like to gaze at the stars. There you go, talking telescopes. This boat has a large balcony overlooking the outside. On nights as clear as tonight, you can see the entire sky. It's funny. The entire sky, our Milky Way, yeah, great nights at sea. Love it. Haven't been there long enough. Sometimes I mistake a star for the light of a ship. Yep, I've done that. But the stars shine brighter. Tonight I might be able to sleep a little longer. The stars will watch over me, having a nice time, obviously. Isn't that funny? We're just talking telescopes and bloody stars and all that sort of stuff. A lot of celestial things going on at the moment. And the ship thing is interesting. The biggest spook I had was in Antarctica, living there for the year. The Antarctic atmosphere is completely dry and clean. So you can see stars, bright stars, all the way to the horizon. You don't get that in the normal world because there's always the pollution and there's haze coming off the water and things like that. But believe me, in Antarctica, it is as clear as a bell. I've actually seen with my naked eye about 150 miles in Antarctica with some mountains 150 miles away, and you look at the mountains clear as bell, and you think they're really like 30 miles away, and you look and say, holy Jesus, it's 150 miles away. Part of that was flying in Antarctica as well. You know, the sky, the air, you just see forever, which is fantastic. So, yep, they're all going to miss this, but that's life. Okay, I think I've done everything there, so I go straight on to the comments. Morning, John. I'm envious of your telescope. What sort of telescope you got? Big one, 10-inch. Ooh, I'd get into it if Jane's complaining at the moment because we've got all this other rubbish coming in here. We've got so much stuff in the house. We rent this place and we're here. But how long are we going to be here? And she says, "Oh, if we go to another port, we've got to move everything and blah blah blah." Anyway, that's life. Gerhard, a new name, I think. The MGR sales. What's the pros and cons versus keeping one standard set and allowing to change the UV damage sales once during the MGR instead of generating different sales sets? Well, it's not that we are generating a different sales set, but it just means the owners can have a choice on what sales they buy. And I'll give you an example in the Ocean Globe race because this is exactly what I'm going through at the moment. In the first edition of the Ocean Globe race, it was all Dacron sales, okay? And we maintained that very heavily. And you buy a Dacron mainsail and say it costs you $1,000 for the Dacron mainsail. It'll last around the world, but by the time you get around the world, it's starting to stretch a bit and the cloth is sort of not, it's okay, but it's not the best, right? And so if you had bought a mainsail with a little bit of exotic fibre in it, like Spectra, and there's most of the sailcloths have like a high performance cruising sail. It's majority Dacron, so it's about 80% Dacron with 20% Spectra in the fibres, and it holds the shape for a long time. It has an extra UV resistance, and it's a lot stronger, and it's still supple and easy to handle, and it costs you like say $1,400 instead of $1,000. But when you finish sailing around the world, that $1,400 sail compared to the $1,000 sail is still like brand new because it is really designed for long distance stuff. And even though some of the Dacron sails, and even in Explorer, our own boat we've got a Swan 57, we could do the OGR again and sail another circumnavigation with the same set of Dacron sails, and it's efficient, this and that, but you're not getting the sail shape and blah, blah, blah. So the idea with the 580s now is that there will be a new mainsail developed, which will be a higher spec, and it'll cost more, but you might be able to do 2 or 3 trips around the world with it. It'll have high UV resistance, and it'll hold its shape pretty well, because if you look at, I saw it was, I think, on John on 100, had a video the other day, and it shows up at the mainsail. You look at the mainsail, oh, look at that beautiful, pristine mainsail. Now you look at the guys sailing towards the end of the MGR, and the mainsails, the material stretched, but everything further. Not a bag of wheat, but it's so. Whereas if we had a higher spec main on that, I'm certain that they won't be having to make all the sail repairs all the way around for degraded cloth, and B, the sail shape will be a bit better, and C, the sails will be still usable. Now, I don't want to detract from the value of the boats that are for sale now. There's 9 boats for sale, or 3 or 4 of them have been sold, but most of those sails, they won't get thrown away, but they won't be really good for high performance or club racing or anything like that, and I wouldn't trust them. I don't even think I'd trust them for a Transat, so you part of your budget when you buy the boat is you're going to buy a few more sails, right? And Spinnaker cloth, the asymmetrics, the A7, which I'm always happy about seeing that. Saw one again today on Dan's post. There he is happily sailing along with looks like the A7 and the A5. Maybe it's the 3 and the 5. I forget. They get a lot of work, and the cloth looks really good until it's not. It's really hard to pick sail spinnaker cloth. You look at it in the eye, it's fine. And as soon as you get a shock load where it's up and drawing and it's holding pressure, that's fine because it's not moving. But if you get some squalls and you round up and the sail's flogging and all of a sudden go bang, I've seen them just go, the whole thing blows apart, right? And you thought, oh, the cloth looked good, but it's not because of the UV. So they're all considerations. So we haven't finalised the second set of sails yet, but a big part of that will be for the main sails. It'll be possibly a composite cloth that's got a few bits of high-tech fibre, and certainly we'll be looking at the UV resistance for that. And so you make an investment in your sails, and you might be able to do MGR, a few transats, all that sort of stuff, and not have to worry about it failing. And the race is not over yet. There's been some big sail repairs, but some of them are hanging out and hoping they make it all the way to Antigua. So let's wait and see. So people have a choice, that's all. And certainly the standard sails at the moment, they're good sails. They'll get you around the world. You've got to patch them up. You can see what's going on. And they're good for 3 or 4 transats, So I hope that answers the question there, Gerard. I think that's right. Just what's the pros and cons versus keeping one standard set? Oh, because if you had obviously the sail that you would use for performance racing, club racing, things like that, that's what you got now with the standard set. The main sail's really nice. They really are racing sails. So yeah, they're racing sails, but they're on the edge. The main sail and the jib maybe is on the edge to get all the way around the world and maintain performance and stuff. So those that are doing the MGR might want to buy an MGR main and jib and stuff, and we'll have an option for a heavier asymmetric as well. So g'day, John. Imaging some galaxies. I'll DM you pics. Okay, yeah, cool, thanks. Getting crazy now with all the apps. You don't even have to work out, because I think I bought about 3 star map systems in my time, and now you don't even need it. You just get your bloody phone and put it up and look at the sky, and it'll tell you exactly which is which. You don't have to get the Sauceman and the bloody Orion and all that sort of stuff. It's all in front of you, so it's quite fun. And the thing that blows people away, probably about stars, you've probably all seen Pluto and the rings around Pluto and stuff. In cartoons, call it what you like, but the average person thinks of the moon and the sun and the earth and all these round things. And when you get in a telescope and you can actually see with the naked eye the rings around the planets and stuff, it completely blows you away the first time you see it. So, oh, jeepers, there's some funny stuff up there. So, the wonders of the world. Anyway, g'day, Larry. This lake has been a breeze. Awesome cruising weather. Yep, I've got to agree. These are well-known trade wind legs, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And let's hope the last one, they're not in Recife yet, touch wood, but let's hope the last one from Recife to Antigua is successful as well. We've got a few challenges, but anyway. Also, that was my favourite point of sailing, running down wing and wing. Oh, absolutely. It's so, when you get in a bind, excuse me, and you've got to really work hard to make miles, and then the wind starts to swing and you crack off a bit. Whoa. I need a drink. Larry, interesting to see the scrolling replay and see just how the fleet moves. Yeah, I should do that again. Okay. I'll do that again tomorrow, Sunday tomorrow, and show you how to replay, and you can race the boats. It's quite fun for those that don't know already, the feature. It's a video replay. Excuse me. Tracker. Why didn't you call in, Erton? We're always interested to see what the conditions are like. If you're still watching, give me a call right now, because I'm about to shut down. Hopefully he'll... Excuse me. Jump in there, my lady. G'day. I'm about to order a mast. I was looking at the shop. How do I order the sails, Adrian? Okay. The sales, the process is there. You just get onto Margie. It's all done individually. It's not like a shop thing. And the rig, we're still not. We've got backlog of orders ready to go once we sort the spreader issue with Seldon, which is happening now. Order Sparkraft, no, mask with no repairs. Yeah, I'm gonna. Anyway, let's wait and see. But I will fine tune the issue with Sparkraft. I'll have a word to them. But it's a lot more expensive, but it's an interesting rig. Um, so okay, that's about it. Urton hasn't rung, so I'll count to 10. Urton, you've got 10 more seconds. Okay, you can all bugger off if you don't want to talk to Urton. Hang on. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, Don. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for calling. So we didn't need to see you in the boat, but that's all good to see. We want to see what the sailing's like outside. But before you go outside, how's life on board?
Well, life on board is very comfortable. I had a sort of 8 hours of sleep last night. It was very comfortable, and I woke up this morning and put a little bit more sail up. We are doing about 5 knots, I think. Life is very good, and the conditions are fantastic.
That's cool. Show me around the boat. I forget how good it is. This is your little home. Show everyone your home on board.
Of course, let me just turn the thing over.
Did you have a fresh shower this morning? You know, hot shower and eggs and bacon for breakfast.
Well, I have my shower normally in the afternoons and a fresh clothes every day, and have a biscuit and coffee first thing, and I will have eggs and beans and so on shortly.
Yeah, cool.
And this is your chart table, and my iPads are there, and I keep stuff here, and this is my pillow here. I lay and sleep here. My kitchen and bits and pieces, and I've got more, batteries, the artboard, and so on the other side. And this is my living area here.
Yeah, you're sleeping on the cabin sole.
It is like a baby cot here, so once you sleep there, it's the most comfortable place on the boat to sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. So how'd you score the eggs? I want the other entrants to dribble a bit because they couldn't get much.
Well, I didn't have any problem because the hotel I stayed, the one of the people who lived there had 150 chickens. So he supplied myself and Dan with plenty of eggs. I got a couple of dozen. And I managed to get a case of bananas, local bananas, cucumbers, papayas. There's about 5 or 6 supermarkets in Jamestown. So if you walk in and ask, they will get it for you.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And the mangoes are grown in the trees, so getting mangoes was no problem. So I got lots of mangoes as well.
Well, you stole them or you bought them in the trees?
No, I just asked people, and they just brought them over, and they didn't even take money from me. They wouldn't actually.
Really? That's cool. So they're all growing mango trees.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of them in the island, and they were quite offended when I tried to pay. They gave me lots of mangoes, and the papayas were huge, and they were really a couple of 2-3 pounds each. They're really so cheap, really. It was embarrassingly cheap.
Yeah. So tell me about the people, their lifestyle on the island. Like, what your observations were.
Well, it's a very unusual place. If anybody comes from the mainland, will find it very hard because there really is nothing to do there, and the only thing you can do there is to work 7 days a week and work all the time because there's nothing else to do there. But we have seen these in other Pacific islands and Fiji, and also people eventually learn to do nothing all day. And but in St. Helena, it is an unusual place. If you're a young person, you have to have a job there. Otherwise, I think you'd go mad, kill yourself, I think.
Yeah, what do they do for entertainment then? What do they? I suppose they got a nightclub or something or whatever?
Well, it's Friday and Saturday nights. Everybody's out on the streets having parties, drinks, and socializing and so on. But the rest of the week is very, very quiet indeed. I found it by and large a fairly happy island because everyone I met, they were saints. They lived on the island. They went away for 10, 15, 20 years abroad. earn money and worked in different countries, and now return back to San Helena again. So it is that kind of mixture of people. There's always somebody abroad working and earn money, because although everything is more expensive, San Helena, the wages are like $6.50 an hour. It's like almost third of what you would get in a Western country.
Yeah. And do anyone have, like, what about the road system? Is it just like not many cars, everyone's using bikes or whatever?
Well, you have to have a car because it's very hilly there.
Yeah.
And the cars are very, very expensive. And that's partly because people used to go to Britain and buy cheap cars, £1,000, £2,000, and put them in a Royal Mail ship for £1,500 and bring them to St. Helena. Now, when this ship stopped, suddenly people could no longer get cheap cars, and suddenly transportation from Cape Town was £5,000.
Yeah.
So all the cars you see on the island is pretty old, and they keep them going. So it is expensive to buy a car on the island, because there's a very high transport cost from Cape Town to St. Helena.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's cool. Okay, show us outside. Give us some live action of the hectic conditions, the solo sailing around the world, blood, sweat, and tears. Rawr.
Well, I'm sorry, but sailing around the world is pretty easy. All you have to do is put some sails up and and a little bit of sail. There you are. I have got the A5 and A7 half rolls.
Yeah.
And we are doing about 5 knots with those half of to each sail.
Jeepers, I'll bloody eat my hat if you get all the way around with those sails. I can see they're fading. They're just sort of like, yeah, they used to be red or whatever. But anyway, yes. That's amazing.
Well, we can't. I mean, to be honest with you, you are right. Next time people does an MGR, they must get a higher resistant UV for the mainsail or a thicker mainsail. And these sails have lasted very well. This A7 is so far had very little repairs since leaving Antigua. So they've been okay, the A sails. And the repairs that, I used the very sticky tape on the A5 myself, and it seems to be holding very well. So I don't really, apart from the mainsail, I don't have a problem with my other sails.
Yeah, I agree. I think the sails have worked out okay. It's a bit of learning there, but anyway, it looks very pleasant there. You can hardly see any wind on the sea. So, but yeah, just tell people how tough it is sailing around the world solo. Not how easy it is, how tough it is. Where's the?
I would be lying if I said that, really, because since leaving Antigua, we had over 90% of the time this kind of weather. Yes, in the Indian Ocean we had some big waves and coming from the side rather than from behind. It was uncomfortable. And also going from Mauritius to Durban were interesting because of the immensely strong currents. And when we had no wind, we were sort of going backwards on some days. But generally it's been very easy, I have to say, and we've been traveling in the summer weather since leaving Antigua, so the temperature is good, the weather is good, and I think all you have to do is to have less sail when the wind increases.
You meant to say it's been, I only get, sleeping 1 hour a day, it's just been terrible,
No, I go to sleep just before it's dark at night. I rarely get out of my bed until dawn. And before I get out of my bed, I have my coffee and biscuits, and I have the news on the iPad, and have a chit chat on the other iPad with my wife. And so, really, anybody who's contemplating doing it, I can't recommend it enough. This is the best holiday they're ever going to have. And the sailing is absolutely wonderful. You have this kind of sailing pretty much all the time. Come on.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's a trade wind route. That's what I've always No, and I've never sailed around the world in the trade winds, and I've never done a lot of big sections of this course. But yes, trade wind sailing is on its own. Do you ever see? It's the weekend, so I'll waffle on a bit. You ever see on Facebook that weightlifter guy that is a super champion world weightlifter, and he looks like a little scrawny bloody nobody, and he goes into gyms and he mixes it with the big muscly guys, and he makes out he's the cleaner, and all of a sudden he picks up like 10 ton of weight. Have you seen that guy?
I watch Antonov all the time.
Oh, he's so funny.
He weighs 300 kilos with his.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is what I'm getting to. What I'm getting to, the 580s and the mini globe race is like that for all the other races. You know what I mean? Like they come in with this little boat and blah blah blah, and all the everyone's sort of going around the world and saying, sail around the world. You get a chance in there. I got to be careful what I say, touch wood, because we've still got a long way to the finish. But yes, it's planning, preparation, execution. All you guys and girls doing the mini globe race, you've done an amazing job. And you're making it look easy, but there is tough moments, so don't undersell that,
No, but most people, when they go around and write books, and they only write the bad stuff, which is really less than 5% of it.
Yeah.
That's the fact, as you know yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it is very misleading when people talk about going around the world. It isn't. Nobody would go sailing if you read these books, and I think that is not a true reflection. Just to give you what I feel, this boat is ready to continue from Antigua to do another round the world race, another trip like this, and really she needs nothing doing to it, and mentally and emotionally one would be happy to continue on to do another lap around the world.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. How hard it has been for me. It's been so wonderful so far.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I always have a little smile when I read people saying, "Oh yeah, I never have more than 20 minutes sleep at night." I mean, at a time, you physically cannot carry on around the world to get 20 minutes of sleep grabs. You've got to go to sleep sometime, and they tend to ramp it up a bit. But anyway, that's life, so that's cool. We're all having fun. Okay, well, you better bugger off before I lose my audience. I've got 3,000 people watching this live now,
Well, so I wish you a nice day, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you.
Yeah, I'm very envious. Believe me. I'm a talker instead of a doer at the moment. It's really pissing me off. Anyway, but that's life. I enjoy. Don't get me wrong. It's all good. All the events are good. But yeah. Anyway. That's cool. All right. Thank you for calling in, Entrant. That's very good. You're one of the few. But anyway, good to see.
I always have time for you, Don.
Okay. Thanks, mate. Okay. See you later.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, that was our Saturday weekend waffle on. So anyway, hope you have a good weekend, everybody. Any questions? No, that's it. So we'll see you tomorrow. Jeepers, that was 40 minutes. Bloody hell. Okay. See you later. Thanks, everybody. They're having fun.